Hello everybody and welcome to the Nashville Super Speedway for the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Cracker Barrel 400 here in NASCAR 25 season mode. Of course, the drivers to watch today, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, and Christopher Bell, all good on the concrete as you're here in the number 48 Ally Best Friends Chevrolet, ready to get going here at Nashville to hopefully continue our momentum after a strong top 5 run of the Coca-Cola 600. As we're going in qualifying now, our lap underway here in Music City, trying to put down a good time and hopefully qualify well, be in the mixed conversation for the win is the goal in this race. Of course, we have not won since Bristol and Darlington back-to-back. We had 5 wins in the first 9 races, have not won since. As here we are going through 3 and 4 to complete our qualifying lap. Pretty good momentum through the corner, feeling pretty good about the way the car is handling and gripping its way through the corner. We're going to come across the start-finish line here to put down a 28.78. That will put us 15th on the board. So a solid qualifying effort, a little bit better than we did in Charlotte. So we will start top 15 here tonight in Nashville. Denny Hamlin, however, on pole position once again over Kyle Larson, C. Bell, William Byron, and Ryan Blaney. And of course, we are back here in 15th with Carson Hocevar and Chris Buescher, trying to work our way up to the front of the field here in Nashville as we get ready to get underway in Music City for the Cracker Barrel 400.
Cracker Barrel 400 is on deck with just moments away. Roar of NASCAR Cup Series engine echoing through Middle Tennessee. The drivers are strapped in, the pace car is ready, and the Music City is about to swap guitars for horsepower.
And so now we're getting ready to get green and underway here in Nashville. We are underway here in Music City. Hamlin out to the early lead out in front of the field. We, of course, get the typical struggle on the restart here, being stuck in first gear instead of second when we begin the race here. So we are behind Ryan Preece and Chris Buescher, trying to work our way forwards here by the RFK Ford duo here. Of course, Preece having a solid season, the driver out of Berlin, Connecticut, just below the cut line, trying to find some points. You got Chris Buescher out of Prosper, Texas, couple of career wins, looking pretty good as we're on the inside of Hocevar, 3 wide to the inside of 2-time Cup champion Kyle Busch, as we are on the charge here in Nashville, inside of Busch, racing him and racing Hocevar, now closing in on Joey Logano and Tyler Reddick into the 22 sideways, and Logano is going to lose control behind us, and around goes Joey Logano. The 3-time champion goes spinning out of turn 2, and the caution will wave for the first time today in Nashville. To see the replay, he just really lost control way too easily there. Maybe I have to adjust my settings on the AI recovery from incident there, as he spun around a little bit too easy. I didn't really drive it into him that hard, as now we'll throw a slide job in turn 3 and get up into the top 10 for the first time tonight, going by Ross Chastain. Now working on the 24 of William Byron, as well as the 23 of Bubba Wallace here right in front of us, trying to get up into 8th position and continue to charge our way forwards. We throw a slider too deep into the corner, have to lift off the throttle. Will allow Briscoe to hold on to 7th and Wallace to cross us over as the battle for 8th position continues here in Nashville between myself and Bubba Wallace. Of course, today the first of 3 in-season challenge qualifying races. Before we begin the in-season challenge at Echo Park Speedway, as we get to the outside wall, lose a ton of momentum. Kyle Busch will get back by for 9th. And we'll now have to slip down to 10th. Few laps there, dropping down to 12th, 13th, hitting into Hocevar out of turn 4. And Hocevar's going to lose it. There goes to 77. Hocevar does a 360, which is pretty nasty that he saved that. Very impressive. But the young driver out of Portage, Michigan goes for the spin and brings out our second caution of the day. This time I come down to take 4 tires and fuel, and just to get a change of sceneries. I've been struggling up there towards the front of the field with the handling of the car, just making mistakes, and unfortunately second time we barely get into someone and they lose control. As I go the inside of the 10 of Ty Dillon for P31, and shortly here going to be in the top 30. Now working on the 88 of Shane Van Gisbergen and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. back into the top 30 here with Justin Haley, Zane Smith, and John Hunter Nemechek. Of course, I expect the 38 to be a little bit better here. Zane Smith is really, really good in Nashville. He's had a couple of great runs here last couple of years, including that career best finish runner-up here a year ago to Joey Logano, and that wild 5 overtime disastrous finish there. So we go to the inside of Josh Berry. Of course, the 1 win this season at Las Vegas, very helpful for him to stay up in the mix, so we'll go by him for 22nd. Now closing on his Alliance teammates over at Penske, Austin Cindric and Joey Logano. We set in the corner, and somehow the 2 is going to lose control here behind us, and Austin Cindric is going to basically wipe himself out. What is going on here in Nashville? No one can hang on to their race car. I mean, I barely got into the 2 to see in the replay. Just a little touch like that, and Cindric just completely loses control. I just don't understand. And he just completely wipes out. And he will bring out our third caution of the opening stage. So here we are, 8 to go in this opening stage still. We're going to send it, get back by Hocevar, who we accidentally got into earlier, to get to 19th. Now setting our sights on Eric Jones and Michael McDowell. We get a few more positions here in Nashville. Next up, we got Tyler Reddick in the 45. The 16 of Allmendinger throwing a huge block, so kind of just bump and run him there, force the 16 to get out of the way. Now trying to go the outside of Keselowski. We'll decide to go 3 wide in the middle between him and, of course, the car he co-owns with Chris Buescher. We are now in an RFK Racing sandwich. Buescher, Priest, Keselowski just surrounding us right now as I'm trying to make these passes. We're going to make the middle lane work and clear Ryan Priest, force Kyle Busch to go 3 wide. And here we go. We are moving our way back to the front of the field up to P11, going by Kyle Busch. Now setting our sights on the 9 of Chase Elliott to break into the top 10 with a slide job into turn 1. And it works. And we are back in the top 10, charging through the field on fresh tires here in Nashville. Next up, Ty Gibbs in the 54 and Bubba Wallace in the 23. So go right to the inside of Gibbs here into turn 3. Seems like a pretty good move right there. A little bit of contact, trying to make the move work here through the corner. Still got to fight him. Or closing in on Ross Chastain, of course, a former winner here in Nashville in 2023. Got it done there for his first win of that season. So I'll go by the inside of the Kubota Chevrolet to move into 8th position, trying to get to Bubba Wallace in that 23. He's had some very solid runs here this season. Top 10, top 12 in the points. We go underneath the 23, some contact up the track. We both go. Bubba sideways. Can he hang on to it? Yes, he does. But we will take 7th from Bubba Wallace here. And now on the final lap of the stage, it's going to be Denny Hamlin winning stage 1 in Nashville. We will come across for a solid 7th after everything we went through that stage, taking home 4 stage points to start the day. Definitely a good start for us, just being in the mix. But it's Hamlin over Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, William Byron, Chase Briscoe, myself, Wallace, and Gibbs, and as well as Chastain in the top 10. So now on the restart in stage 2, we are now in the nighttime under the lights here in Music City, where the stars shine the brightest. Who will prevail in this final half of the race, as it is Hamlin leading, Bell and Byron doing battle for a 3rd position as we get to the inside, 3 wide, trying to get by Bubba Wallace and Ryan Blaney. Of course, Blaney, the 2023 Cup Series champion. We will go by him and now set our sights on Bubba Wallace as well as Christopher Bell here in 4th, who's falling right into striking distance. We get into there, have to hit the brakes to avoid really plowing through the 20 right there, so he'll hold on to 4th. We'll get some momentum here in 5th, highest we've ran all night long. Now on the move, trying to get by Bell once again. In turn 1 and 2, we send it into the inside lane, slide up the racetrack, beautifully executed slide job pass right there into 4th, and now we would not be able to track down William Byron. Blaney gets to my inside. He'll go back by for 4th, and 22 to get into us. We're going to be sideways and make a heck of a save down the front straightaway as we have been hooked onto the right front fender of Christopher Bell. Near disaster, and then we just send it into the wall. I don't even know what that was. I think that was a little bit of frustration on my end, trying to get Christopher Bell back, and we just completely whiffed. An absolute embarrassing moment right there. We will go absolutely nowhere, lose all of our ground, and open the door for both Bubba Wallace and Ross Chastain to go by. Here comes Ty Gibbs, leaving Chase Elliott. And just like that, we're down to 10th after fighting for 5th about 2 seconds ago. So yeah, just a mistake. My fault there, just being, frustrated with the way Christopher Bell had gotten into me right there. Kind of wanted to show him who means business, but that was just way overdriving the corner. Did not need to be made there. So now we go to the inside of Elliott for 8th position, as you had already gone by Ty Gibbs. Try to get to the inside of Bubba Wallace as well. We'll use him up a little bit. We will use him up a lot, sending the 23 into the wall, and now we're 3 wide. Wallace backs out of it from getting into the wall. Chase Elliott has since gone by. We've dropped down to 10th now, and now with 10 to go, or coming to 10 to go in stage 2. I am coming in for my green flag pit stop at the end of this stage. I'm trying to play some strategy, see if it'll work. We're going to come in, take 2 tires and fuel. Going to be a gamble here. So we come out in front of everybody. Currently, we're going to be scored in the 3rd position, only behind William Byron, who is on pit road now as the leader, and Kyle Larson. So far, a brilliant strategy call to take 2 tires, but here comes Hamlin to our inside. The 44-year-old who has just been denied the championship in such heartbreaking ways. Has had a lot of good runs here in Nashville, but surprisingly yet to go to victory lane here, as he'll go by us for 3rd. Here comes Christopher Bell. We'll drop down to 4th now, 5th position, but we'll move back into 4th as we'll actually cycle ahead of the 24 of William Byron, who's coming out of pit road right now. You see him there on the bottom of the racetrack. So now we're trying to hang on to fourth here late in the stage. Ryan Blaney forcing it 3 wide with myself and Chase Elliott. So I'm trying to make this strategy call work to the best of my ability. And we're doing a heck of a job battling with Ryan Blaney here, keeping it even and not losing too much track position on these really worn left side tires. So a really good strategy call on our end, taking those 2 tires to get into trouble. Blaney, here comes Chase Elliott to the inside. And now the 9 wants to make it 3 wide for fourth. We have to back out of it. Blaney clear. Elliott not quite clear, so I drive it into turn 1, get in the back of the 12 of Blaney's a little bit. He's going to get loose into the wall. We're both sideways. We hang on to it. Blaney going to lose it. He's going to go spinning down the back straightaway. Byron goes by. Caution is out. Stage is over. Kyle Larson will win stage 2 after all of that drama. Followed by Denny Hamlin, Seabell, Chase Elliott, and Byron in the top 5. We end up 6th. Blaney, Wallace, Jones, and Chastain in the top 10. So we're restarting here in 22nd. Myself, Bell, Elliott, Wallace, Blaney, Denny Hamlin, other contenders pitted for 4 tires, while 21 cars stayed out, including the likes of Connor Zilic, BJ McLeod, Todd Gilliland, who's going to lose control behind us with Hamlin. They're wrecking big time behind us. The big one in Nashville has happened. As we just got into the quarter panel of the 34, he loses control, collects Hamlin, and the caution comes out. Here we are on the outside of Connor Zilic and the 51 of Cody Ware, trying to go by him and Nemechek into the corner. We're going to get contact with the 51. He's going to drive into us, and Cody Ware is going to try to wreck us. We're going for a big slide, and what a save in turn 3 as we almost get dumped by Cody Ware of all people, but we hang on to it. But we lose a couple of spots, and now we're just getting bullied back here, trying to find our way by Connor Zilic, AJ Allmendinger, Nemechek, and others. 3 wide up the middle, just trying anything here. Now I'm trying to force my way 4 wide, but I'm going to get pinned behind Cody Ware as the 16 won't go any lower. So now I'll give AJ a little bump into the corner. Now I'll just drive it into the 51 of Cody Ware. That's his frustration of what he just pulled on me. That last lap, Blaney gets squeezed into the wall, 4 wide behind us. I'm trying to make 3 wide work in the middle of Zane Smith and Josh Berry. Man, I got nowhere to go here. It's absolute bloody bedlam here in Nashville. We're going to have to go all the way to the outside lane, try to make a 4th line work here in turn 1 and 2 and get blocked by Noah Gragson. So we're going to give the 4 a big push here through the corner. Try to push him down the back straightaway, but he's so slow, and they're all slamming into each other. I'm literally nowhere to go. It's literally like Talladega. I'm literally roadblocked. I have nowhere to go. Can't freaking pass. Now we go to the outside of Gragson. Big momentum through 4. We get squeezed into the wall twice. There goes our momentum. There goes Ryan Blaney. Allmendinger and Gragson gets back around us, and it's just frustrating trying to drive through these guys up through the field who just will not move out of the way. Blaney and I both struggling, as well as Elliott and Hamlin, to make up track position. Here goes Bubba Wallace for 4 wide again. I'm almost wrecking for the 3rd time in as many laps here. What in the world is going on here tonight in Nashville? We're having some crazy racing. And now we give a big bump to Josh Berry in 3 and 4, and we say, move it, pal. And now we go to the inside, forcing it 4 wide with Eric Jones, Berry, and Allmendinger. I'm putting it all on the line. Now Zane Smith scores another 4 wide, sending to turn 1. Oh my goodness. That is 4 wide for 9th place as we go by Shane Van Gisbergen. And we are back in the top 10 after a hard-fought drive through the field. Now we kind of overdrive the corner, use up the 7 of Justin Haley, get up into 7th place as here comes Elliott applying pressure, who goes by. Now we try to go 3 wide with him and Austin Dillon. We send it a little bit too deep into the 9, into the wall. We both go. Just too deep of a send, mistake completely on my end. And there goes Elliott behind us. He will wipe out. Caution will wave. Another mistake there, me just trying to figure out how to run Nashville, overdriving the corner. My apologies to my teammate, did not mean to do that. As now we go by Kyle Busch on the restart, 3 wide by Michael McDowell. Logano now going the inside to the apron on Brad Keselowski to get back to the top 5. Here now with just a couple of laps left in this race, about 16 to go, so we should be good to the end on fuel and tires. As we're now working on the 24 of William Byron for 4th position. You see Chase Elliott vulnerable in front of us for 3rd, so we go to make a move here in the 3 and 4, have to lift off the throttle. But how about this? Christopher Bell is leading, but behind him is a train of Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolets, 2, 3, 4, 5. HMS is running. Larson 2nd, Elliott 3rd, myself 4th, followed by William Byron in 5th. As I'll drive back to the inside of Chase Elliott here in turn 1 and 2, trying to make this pass happen, and we do. Beautifully executed, up to 3rd place. Starting to figure things out here in this final stage, but we just cannot track down race leader Kyle Larson or Christopher Bell. As Elliott gets back up our inside here with 10 laps to go. Byron right here behind us in fourth, fifth rather, trying to make a move. Elliott will take third, and now Byron gets by us for fourth. Now 9 to go. I send it back to the inside. Use up Byron here a little bit to get this position back. I'm not willing to give up that easily on a position I know we can get here, as I'm racing Byron as hard as I can do here. Kyle Busch, how about him? The 8 car having a great top 10 effort tonight from Kyle Busch. Shout out to him, having a really strong run as we send it into turn 1 and 2 up into William Byron. A little bit of contact made right there. The battle continuing for P1. Can we make it happen? We drive to the inside of William Byron, and we are going to try to send it. We still cannot clear him, and some great racing as this battle continues between myself and William Byron, of course, who's made 3 straight Championship 4 appearances, but has yet to come out with the cup. We'll see if the new playoff format will change anything here as we go into 2026 very soon, as Byron and I continue to scrap it out for fourth. We're actually gaining some time on Chase Elliott, who seems to be falling back to us on these older tires. The tire wear really affecting him this time by coming to 6 to go. We can do a beautiful slide job on Byron, but he does an even better crossover move. And Byron now on the inside, the preferred line here, going to turn 1 and 2. I'm trying to hold him off, do everything I got here to maintain this position. We give him a little bit of a bump into 1 and 2. We have to get way out of the throttle as they got really tight after shoving him through. And that'll allow Blaney to take advantage and take 5th from us here with just 6 laps remaining. Can we get back by the Menards for the 2023 champion of Ryan Blaney? So a little bit of contact into 3 and 4, but we get the momentum here, and we're actually both closing in on Byron and Elliott. We're starting to slow each other down a little bit, and we are now all of a sudden right back in the mix for a podium finish. Here, 5 to go in Nashville. Try to go the inside of William Byron, take the run, and we go up the track barely at the 24. Then we get a big time. He's it. We're the wall. He's sideways. We're sideways. We're both slamming the wall. There goes Byron behind us, crashing, and we have overtime here in Nashville. We just made a mistake, and Byron did everything he could to try to save that car, but there was just nothing he could do about it. And now we have a 2 to go in regulation finish. Kyle Larson out to the blazing lead on the restart. I send it 3 wide to try to get into second by Christopher Bell and William Byron as we come to the white flag this time by final lap presented by Credit One Bank here at Nashville Super Speedway. Kyle Larson looking to go back to back. Just won the Coca-Cola 600 in the final stage, dominant fashion, looking to do it again here in Nashville. I try to make the outside lane work from second, but nothing. We are not getting close enough to the 2-time Cup Series champion. And now into turn 4 for the final time. It's going to be back-to-back race wins. Kyle Larson survives and wins in Music City. He'll win it here in Nashville. I will come across in second position for our best finish since the win at Bristol. And a Hendrick top 5 as by Larson, myself, and Elliott 1, 2, 3. Christopher Bell for JGR 4th. Byron, our teammate, 5th. Then Blaney, Logano, Kyle Busch. How about AJ Allmendinger and Tyler Reddick, the top 10. Hamlin ends up down in 13th. Briscoe, Chastain, Wallace a little bit further back. See Josh Berry all the way down in 38th. Tough break for him after having a pretty solid car here tonight. But Kyle Larson wins the race. So here's the playoff grid. Larson now a 3-time winner this season, becoming my chief championship rival. Then, of course, Byron, Bell, Hamlin, Logano, McDowell, Herbst, the other winners. And then you got Blaney, Briscoe, Elliott, Reddick, Wallace, still looking pretty good on the points side of things. And then you got Chastain. Busher is +9. Kyle Busch +6. Allmendinger 6 below. They got like 50 or more on out for Cindric Priest, host of our Gibbs, Keselowski, Berry, all the way through to SVG, and then must win for all the guys down here. As there's your standings update. Congrats to Kyle Larson on the win in Nashville. So as we end this episode, as always, I want to give a shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much to JJ, Brenda Breen, Jeremy Isley. Really appreciate your guys' support. It means a ton to me. Helps this channel and I continue to grow, produce some awesome content. Now on the road to 2,000 subscribers. So please keep watching. Please subscribe if you are not already. Helps me out a ton. If you want to be like these 3, become a paid channel member, support the channel, only $5 a month. You get shout out at the end of every video and other exclusive perks. So until next time, from the Irish Hills of Michigan, I hope you all have a good one.